Ea is the breath, the ha. Ea is life. Because to the ancestors, yeah, these three things are synonymous. Okay, a lot of people think that the Hawaiian language is just this poor stepchild that was invented to entertain the Turai, but it's not. It's a Hawaiian, it's a Polynesian language. Okay, when you speak Olelo Makua Hine as your primary tongue, you dream in Hawaiian. You perceive the world in a different fashion. And this is how the kupuna perceived the world. These things are synonymous. You couldn't have life. You couldn't have breath unless you had sovereignty. That's what it was to those guys. He declares that day to be a holiday, La Hoʻihoʻi Ea. Yeah? The day of return of sovereignty. That's where the motto comes from. That's where the holiday comes. Permanently designated as July 31st every year. And it was observed until 1895 or so, and the provisional government said, no, you can't observe it anymore. But to them, we still observe it. Okay? So if you guys are around town, the first Sunday before July 31st, that weekend, you go down to Thomas Square if it's open, and we'll be celebrating La Hoʻihoʻi Ea. We're not going to protest, we're celebrating a great national holiday. Okay, which brings up another great national holiday. Did we celebrate Thanksgiving in Hawaii? No. Why not? You guys just unchristian or what?
Genocide, that's why.
Well, there's a better reason than that. That's because...
We don't have turkeys.
No. And the Pilgrims never landed in Honolulu Harbor. Sorry. The Pilgrims landed, I don't know where, Boston or someplace. You know, and you know, this is like a small little sliver of country that occupied the Atlantic seacoast that was 7,000 miles away in a country that didn't even touch the Pacific Ocean. It's like, why are we going to celebrate that day? You know, nothing to do with us. So what was the holiday that we celebrated in November?
Our Independence Day.
Aye, La Kuʻukoa. All right. Maybe you've heard of the sovereignty movement. Have you heard of that? Sovereignty movement in Hawaii? Never heard of that? All right. Sovereignty people, they're trying to get the sovereignty back of Hawaii, right? Wrong. La Kuʻukoa is November 28th. That marked that day in London when treaties were signed between Britain, France, Belgium, and Hawaii. They recognized Hawaii as an independent country. Hawaii enters the family of nations on November 28, 1843. Hawaii officially received sovereignty and recognition in 1843. Hawaii as a nation is older than China. It's older than Japan. It's older than any of the nations in South America. It's older than Ethiopia in terms of recognition.
And aren't we the first non-European country?
First non-European country recognized as an independent nation. So when this place was invaded and occupied, that sovereignty was never legally extinguished. There are ways of extinguishing it. They never did it. They were so arrogant, they just said, well, we're taking over, too bad, to you. But they never legally extinguished that sovereignty. When the United States invaded Iraq, yeah, they're going to say, oh, you're a 51st state and we're nationalizing all your oil wells. No, they cannot do that. Because Iraq was recognized as a sovereign state. You can invade it, but you cannot destroy that state. They never legally extinguished Hawaii's sovereignty. Hawaii was, Hawaii is, Hawaii always will be a sovereign state. We don't have to get our sovereignty back. We have our sovereignty. What we don't have is the ability to exercise it because we're occupied by a hostile military force. But we just got to exercise it, and it will come one of these days. Okay, so we don't have to get our sovereignty back. We got it. And it was because of that day. So anyway, the news takes a while to come to Hawaii. You know, London's a faraway place. And so Kauikeaʻuli hears of this, and he declares that day to be another national holiday, La Kuʻukoa. Okay, Independence Day. Same thing, okay? 1895, provisional government guy says, no, you cannot celebrate this anymore. Okay, Kuʻukoa means independence, but does it? Again, nanai ke kumu. Okay? The same guys that wrote the history books are the same guys who took over. Kuʻukoa has 3 definitions, yeah? It's freedom, it's liberty, and it's independence. Because to the ancestors, you couldn't have these things. You couldn't have freedom, you couldn't have liberty unless you're independent. Yeah. You know, nowadays, what the trend is, okay, you look back to the sources, okay? Yeah, there were a handful of English newspapers, but you know there's something like 60 Hawaiian language newspapers in Hawaii, 60. And they were just vibrant. You look at every single issue. There's hulas, there's chants, there's songs. It's just vibrant. You could have read about how Sherman attacked Atlanta and was marching down to, down to wherever, down south in the Civil War. And up until the 1960s, you could have read about the latest thing that was happening in Vietnam in the Hawaiian language newspapers. These guys were not slackers. Hawaii had the highest rate of literacy in the entire Western world. Yeah. People say, well, but it wasn't Hawaiian, it wasn't English. I'm sorry. You know, if you're in France and you read French, doesn't mean you're ignorant. Okay? That doesn't mean you're illiterate. Okay? So Hawaii had the highest rate of literacy in the entire Western world at that time. Hawaii had a lot of other firsts, but we gotta get moving. Sorry, started late. Do we have any questions right offhand? All right, we're gonna take a look at the place. Come, we gotta go get some tools.